Hey guys, and welcome into our weekly prep football show. We are down to the semifinal round for public schools this week, so we have only 3 teams remaining. We have in Class 3A, Sequatchie County will host Alcoa, 9-time defending state champion Alcoa. They are basically the boogeyman of Tennessee. We have not had a local team beat Alcoa in something like 16 years, so Sequatchie County has their hands full in that one, but should they win, they would be playing for a state championship for only the 2nd time in school history. In 2A, Marion County will host York Institute. And the Warriors are playing really well right now. Just about 8 miles across the county line there. South Pittsburg in 1A will host Cofield. So we have all 3 of our games will be in the central time zone, all in the Sequatchie Valley. Those teams are all about 20 minutes apart from each other, so there will be a lot of activity in those little towns on Friday. Looking forward to those games. We'll talk just briefly about the private schools. Both Baylor and McCallie, just like we all anticipated, won last week in semifinals, so they will now play again in next week's BlueCross Bowl for the Division II AAA state championship. That one last year drew something like 20,000 people to Finley Stadium. We're expecting probably another, weather permitting, another large crowd there. As lots of people want to come out and watch the 2 best teams in the state, probably regardless of classification, playing each other. Lots of guys who are going to play on Saturday at the college level will be featured in that one. So we're going to have plenty of things coming up next week. Video, we'll have interviews both sides, features on both those teams coming up next week. This week, we're dedicating everything to the public schools that are remaining because they still have one more step to go before they make it to the state championship game. So last week, I was at Sequatchie County, Meigs County. Sequatchie showed, even though they're a young team, they can take a punch and give it right back. Every time Meigs County would give them a punch, come back and try to make it a ball game, Sequatchie County would answer and come back with a score of their own to kind of extend the lead and keep them within an arm's distance there. So, coming in this week, they just have to block out the name across the front of the jersey, Alcoa, and just it has to be a nameless, faceless opponent. Otherwise, you step out on the field and you're kind of in awe by what Alcoa does, just because they've been so dominant across the state for so long. You kind of have to just forget about the fact that it's Alcoa and just play the team across the field. Otherwise, you walk out there and you're already probably mentally you're down by 14 points. So good luck to Sequatchie County in that one. Marion County last week really had a tougher game than what they expected. They were ahead 14-0. Had to hold off a Westmoreland rally to win 14-7. But those guys, since they lost to Tyner, their only 2 losses this year were to teams in higher classification. Since they lost to Tyner, Marion County has won 7 straight games by an average of like 51-9. So they are rolling right now. And I don't expect them to really stop that roll this week. I think Marion at home, the tractor whistle is going to be blowing long and loud into the night. So I think Marion should roll in that one as well. And then South Pittsburg plays a Coalfield team. The last time they played them was in 2020 in the semifinals, and they rolled in that one. South Pitt, the way they're playing right now, a very young team. I mean, predominantly sophomores, not much expected from them, so they're kind of playing with house money right now by getting this far. And but they're also playing with a lot of confidence. They went on the road last week and won a game at Clay County, a very tough place to play. They won that one handily, 49-13. Never really challenged. Jumped on them, boom, 14-0 before you could blink. So really, the speed that those guys are playing with right now, Jamichael Buckner, 260 all-purpose yards last week after he had about 300 the week before. He's really carrying those guys and really showing why he's a Mr. Football semifinalist, as well as Dayon Cooper, sophomore quarterback from South Pittsburg. Those guys, complemented by Keyshawn Powell, they're playing very well right now. I would expect them to roll as well. So I really think we have a great shot of having the two teams from Marion County, the Warriors and the Pirates, in the state championship game next week. Sequatchie County, we're hoping for the best there, but I do understand that they're playing a very tough monster in Alcoa. So we'll check in again next week. We'll talk about the teams that are left. Certainly we have Baylor and McCallie, lots of that to talk about next week. So until then, we'll see you guys.